What's up everyone and welcome. In this episode, we are going to talk about the new Karakurt hacking group that performed 40 ransomware attacks in 2 months. This group does not encrypt your data, but steals tons of valuable information to use as leverage to make you pay the ransom. Let's see what else we can learn to protect ourselves and others from this story.
Oh, drat these computers. They're so naughty and so complex. I could pinch them.
A sophisticated cybercrime group who has been quietly working from the shadows has had its tactics and procedures exposed by researchers who tracked recent cyber attacks conducted by the hackers. The hacking group calls itself Karakurt and is a financially motivated threat actor that has ramped up its cyber attacks in the third quarter of 2021. The first signs of Karakurt activity were identified in June 2021 with the registration of 2 domains and the creation of a Twitter handle. The actors focus almost exclusively on data exfiltration and extortion and are not using ransomware to lock their victims' files. The report on Karakurt comes from researchers at Accenture Security who managed to track the group's living off the land tactics, toolset, and intrusion techniques. The threat group claims to have compromised over 40 victims between September and November 2021 and has posted downloadable stolen file packs on its sites. Roughly 95% of these victims are based in North America, while the rest are European entities. Karakurt isn't focused on a particular industry, so the victimology appears random. You're doing a great job by wanting to learn about this attack and, of course, by watching my episode. I appreciate your support on my journey. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and smash the bell to be notified when I upload new episodes where I give you insights into the newest important cybersecurity news stories like this one. With my insights, you can be better prepared to protect your company, your family, and yourself against these and other cyber attacks. So, hit that subscribe button now and let's continue learning about this story together. How do they get in? How they escalate privileges and exfiltrate? Well, the actor primarily uses VPN credentials to gain initial access to a victim's network, either by sourcing them from sellers or phishing them themselves. The persistence is established by dropping the widely abused Cobalt Strike remote access tool, although in recent attacks, Karakurt switched to using AnyDesk. The report on Karakurt comes from researchers at Accenture Security who managed to track the group's living off the land tactics, toolset, and intrusion techniques. With Cobalt Strike beacons becoming more aggressively detected by security software, AnyDesk has become increasingly popular among threat actors, such as the Conti ransomware gang. Next, the actor steals additional credentials belonging to administrators by employing mimikats, and they use them for undetectable privilege escalation. In one intrusion, Accenture Security also observed the threat group avoiding the use of common post-exploitation tools or commodity malware in favor of credential access, explained the report by Accenture. This approach enabled it to evade detection and bypass security tools such as common endpoint detection and response solutions. For the exfiltration of the data, Karakurt uses 7-zip and WinZip to compress the files and then sends everything to mega.io via rclone or FileZilla. Encryptionless attacks, while these attacks appear less damaging compared to ransomware infections that encrypt data and wipe backups, they can still be quite detrimental. Threatening publishing stolen files can bring a company to its knees, even if operational status is left, say, unruffled, with less overhead involved in conducting these types of attacks. For this reason, new hacking groups like Karakurt, SnapMC, and others are focusing solely on data exfiltration and extortion as their threat model. However, paying a ransom doesn't guarantee that threat actors will wipe the stolen data or that they won't actually just sell it to somebody else. So it's never really wise to pay a ransom solely to prevent, say, a data breach. Instead, organizations should focus on defense, prevention, and detection measures to keep these threats off their networks. So what can we learn? For this specific threat, we know that the attackers use legitimate credentials compromised or brute forced somehow to access VPN or AnyDesk. So regular password rotation is one way to ensure that previously compromised passwords do not have a long lifespan to be used, say, after an old data breach a couple months ago or even years ago. Furthermore, ensuring that the same password is never used more than once or on more than one account is yet another way to ensure that you can limit the breadth of any attack. The reality is, keeping up with the Joneses in terms of cybersecurity can be a 24/7, multiple-man job, depending, of course, on how large your network and underlying solutions are. The best approaches incorporate good documentation, planning, and protocols to ensure you know what the heck you have running in your network, including version numbers, models, license keys, etc. This way, you can devise a strategy and implement the necessary tech to monitor those systems, monitor the manufacturer alerts with regards to like updates, vulnerabilities, patches, etc. All this catches the knowns, what's known out there, to deal with the unknowns. You should probably start with a least privileged security first principle strategy. Ensure the use of strong authentication patterns through two-factor authentication, minimum password length, minimum password strength, and employ education of employees and family members, since they are the front line. With that, I say thanks for watching. Don't forget to share and subscribe if you haven't already, and smash the bell if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.